shit, because it looked like when shit fucked up.
Yeah, it
like
do.
The color
it do.
You know,
yeah, it looked like it's having a glitch or something. Yeah, I agree.
Thought I was tripping.
Yeah, that's an odd choice.
What do that for? It don't match the Facebook app.
Not at all.
Icon.
Right. I'm like, now y'all niggas stealing my data in purple.
Right.
So what the fuck difference do it make? Niggas got colorways for the scheme.
Right. They'll never know.
Right.
Everybody trusts purple.
Right. Remember Barney? Remember? Yo.
What's good, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Cinecism.
Oh, yeah, want to do a mic check? See
how my bad.
We could get the fuck in. This nigga said, fuck the mic.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Cinecism. I'm Eric.
It's your boy Dante, man, and today we're going to be doing a throwback review on the Tim Burton classic, Beetlejuice.
This movie played a very large part of my childhood.
Me too.
Like, we watched this a lot.
For better or worse.
Yeah.
It played a big part in my childhood
Right.
as well. Yeah.
Yeah, it could be pretty terrifying if you were a kid watching this. I grew to appreciate it more the older I got. It's basically about a couple played by Alec Baldwin and Gina Davis who prematurely get killed in a car accident. It's another family that moves into their house after they die, and now they're ghosts in their house, and they're trying to scare the new tenants out of the house. That's basically what the plot of the movie revolves around. And in doing so, they hire this maniac by the name of Beetlejuice against everyone's best wishes. They tell them not to do it, but they hire him anyway because they can't figure out how to get rid of this family. What a bizarre movie
this movie is out there.
It really is.
And it's crazy.
Even watching it again, it's like, man, this shit really weird.
Yeah, right.
Exactly. I love it so much.
Right, exactly. It's one of them lovable weird movies, man. It's got a lot of parts in here where it's just incredibly odd. You're like, man, what a weird choice to make. And the thing is, man, I feel like this movie, one of the best things about it is that everybody is delivering.
That's what I'm about to say. Everybody really committed to the to this movie.
Yeah.
I mean, they really dialed it in.
Right.
I was with it because the shit was funny.
So Adam and Barbara.
Yeah, Adam and Barbara are the couple that died. We don't really get to know a lot about them at the beginning of the movie because they die at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
They live in this house that this lady is trying to get them to move out of so she can sell it. It's like their neighbor or family, a friend or something. I don't know.
She is not a friend.
Well, yeah.
She thinks
she's a friend.
Right, yeah, oh my God.
They handle their deaths very well, too.
Yeah.
Let me tell you. Well, let's look in this book.
Right. Right.
Like, man, you don't care at all. You ain't have nothing to live for, huh?
Nothing. They was fine with dying. They took it so well. It's like, well, let's open the manual. You know, it is what it fucking is.
After they die, they venture off into this afterlife and trying to get answers as to how to go about evicting these people from their house. And, you know, they go visit their counselor and she gives them some pointers and stuff. And she tells them absolutely not to contact Beetlejuice under any condition because he's crazy.
Right.
And of course, they immediately go home and contact Beetlejuice.
Well, in their defense, they was kind of pushed to the end of their rope because they're trying to hunt these people out of the house, but they're extremely whack at it.
Yeah.
And because of that, they need to gotta get somebody, an expert.
Yeah,
and he's supposed to be a bioexorcist, which is
whatever
his expertise.
The fuck that means.
His expertise is supposed to be getting rid of the living.
What is a bioexorcist? Ain't a normal exorcist scary enough?
Right. They really sell you on this whole thing of them being a really happily married couple. They just seem like really normal, average people, and you don't want them to die. It's fucked up, man, because they died in such a weird, off-brand way. It's like, what the fuck? How does you're dead?
And you have Lydia, played by Winona Ryder, and she is the only person in the newly moved-in family that can actually see and hear and interact with Adam and Barbara in their ghost forms. She's really like dark and gothic and miserable, depressed, typical teenager of the, I guess, 80s and 90s. Very anti-normal.
Yeah, exactly, right. It seems almost intentional. Like she's trying to be so intentionally against the grain.
Dramatic.
Yeah, absolutely. She was sleeping like this at one point. I'm like, oh my God, oh, the weight of it all. She's just a real got a dark sense of humor. So, of course, she's incredibly excited that these ghosts are there and that she can interact with them. She hype about dead people. She really into that type of stuff. So this is like a dream come true for her. I never took this away until I recently watched it, but they did mention earlier in the movie that they were trying to conceive and were having a hard time. So she kind of becomes in a way.
Barbara?
Yeah. So she kind of becomes in a way like their surrogate daughter.
And then you have her family who are
ass.
her dad and I forget the guy's name, but he was in a lot of movies in the 80s and 90s. He's just I don't know.
Pointless.
Yeah.
Like, he was just there. Having no personality kind of is his personality. He's just a very bland dude. But it's really interesting because his wife has so much personality and his daughter has so much personality, and he's just down here somewhere.
Then you have his wife, and I forget her name too. I want to remember it because she's a well-known actress.
Oh, her name, Catherine O'Hara is her name.
Okay, yeah.
That's the actress's name.
I forget the wife's name in the movie. She's a super eclectic, artsy, I guess you could say. Yeah, she got a lot of personality, but it's not likable personality. Right. It's loud and just fucking obnoxious.
I think that's kind of throughout, though. You start to really realize these are not likable people at all. Yeah. The only likable people are the dead people. Like, honestly,
they the only normal people.
Exactly. Right. Ironically, right? She is completely nuts. She's one of them overly dramatic artists.
Then you got her, what is that? Her assistant?
Yeah.
What's his name?
He's supposed to be an interior decorator.
Yeah, but he moved in pretty much. He never
left.
Living there. He was there the whole movie.
Yeah, they never. He got a role.
He was in a role drinking mimosas and shit. Such a fucking snob.
Yeah,
he's an interior designer who happened to also be some kind of supernatural communicator.
Yeah, he's like a medium or something as well. Yeah. What an odd pairing.
He mentioned in the movie like, "Oh yeah, I used to do this too."
Get out
of my house.
Right? Yeah, you're not decorating shit, bro.
And lastly, of course, you got the one and only Beetlejuice, played by Michael Keaton, and man, let me tell you, man, he committed 100% to this role. I mean, as soon as he gets introduced in the movie, he's just a fucking maniac. Yeah. It's just on 20, man. Yes. Like, I mean, he was out of control. Yeah, he was. He would have gave me anxiety.
Yeah, it was. You first meet him, I don't think it's a breakup in his dialogue. He literally is just a run-on sentence. He is talking. And you know what, in recently watching this, it reminded me of? It was literally the live-action version of the Aladdin Genie by Robin Williams. Yeah. If somebody ever translated it to a live action, this is what it would look like.
Very accurate comparison. Yeah. There was a lot going on. Not even just verbally, but physically too. It was very physical presence.
Exactly. He was popping up in different places. He was here, he was there. Man, he is insane. I don't know what to say beyond that.
Boy, he looked disgusting.
Oh my God.
He looked more gross now than what I ever remember. I mean, he got fungus all growing on his neck and mouth and shit.
He literally got fungus on his mouth, like the crease of his mouth.
Man, boy, let me tell you, I so enjoyed Michael Keaton in this movie. Me too, man. Like, the energy he brought to this role was it was so intense.
Once you meet him, you don't want to not go without seeing him again. Right. It's like you looking forward to the next time.
The movie is already interesting, you know, from start. But then it just gets, it elevates it to such a higher level as soon as he's on screen. Yeah. Is he a bio-exorcist and poltergeist? Yeah. Is that what he is?
Yeah. Oh, right. What
a profession. Right. Anyway, he's a dead guy. Don't know what he died of. I don't see how any version of him ever could have been alive, honestly. Yeah. But he starts like scaring new tenants in the house, like in pretty horrifying ways. Yeah. Like mind you, if this shit was happening in real life, you would be, I mean, I would have died of heart attack.
Oh my God, yeah.
And its practical effects, surprisingly, a lot of the practical effects in this movie, even though this movie is like, 30 years old? Yep. They still hold up. I agree. Some of them, of course, some of them that's dated too, but for the most part, man, a lot of the practical effects I thought still look pretty good. Man.
I agree. He's also trying to return to the world of the living, and in order to do that, he has to marry. He has to marry someone. So
what a crazy stipulation.
That's what I'm saying.
You know, a thing that I remember so many like individual scenes from this movie. Yeah. But for some reason, I didn't remember all of the sequence of events, like in order.
Yeah, I remember the iconic imagery, but not exactly how they fit into the storyline.
Yeah, I mean, that says a lot. That just tells you how timeless a movie is, man. Because there's not a lot of movies that I remember distinctly so many different scenes from. One of the more disturbing things about it for me was after Adam and Barbara died, and when they would try to leave their house and they would go into whatever that
into the void.
Yeah, and
the great beyond.
Gosh, you just in this desolate wasteland. It's just sand, and then as soon as you step out the door, these goddamn sand worms come out, just ready to eat you. I think those things used to scare me more than anything else, because I would think about like when I would be on a beach or something and just surrounded by sand and just one of them worms came out, man. Yeah. I love the design of the sandworms too, because it's like, they don't look like anything I ever seen before. And Stripes was, for some reason, Stripes is like off off-putting to me too.
Yeah.
I don't know if Beetlejuice makes me feel that way.
Right. Stripes are bad in this movie. You don't want to be confronted by no stripes, yo.
Right. I used to be scared by this movie, but I couldn't stop watching it. I think it was the comedic elements that made it a little easier to watch.
I found it easier to watch this movie once Beetlejuice was in the juice because it got a lot funnier. But up until that point, man, it just was dead people, freaky imagery as a kid. You know what one of my favorite scenes in this movie is, man? When they first go into the netherworld or the netherworld and you start seeing all them other people that died, man. It's so funny, but at the same time, it's not. But it's great when you can make side characters. These are insignificant characters. They're really extras. But they so interesting because everybody, the way that they died, that's how they waiting in this waiting room.
Exactly.
You had a dude with a shark attached to his leg. You like, fam, what happened to this man? Like, they could all be their own individual movies.
That's so true. Because it's like, I mean, it's such a subtle way of storytelling. Right. Because they ain't even have dialogue. They were just chilling. Right. But you could immediately see what they died from. Right. And I mean, it just made it that much more interesting, man.
Right. But you could see people in the background, like dead people moving around, be flat people moving around. It's just like, man, that's such an incredible attention, just to the small things, man.
Oh my God. Oh boy, that was like hanging by the what was he, man? Was he a guy or something? I don't know. Whatever
if he was the guy, oh yeah, Jesus, I think he was.
Old overdue.
Yeah, oh my God.
He had a brutal death.
It's this big what looks to be nothing short of a Ford F-50 track. It's like a big tire mark over this man's body, bro. He literally just a piece of gum on a goddamn pulley system. Like, he can't even maneuver, bro. What type of, how your afterlife that track? Bro, I'm not living like, send me to hell, bro. Yeah. Just do it. If that's what I deserve, send me there. At least I'll be whole again.
Another scene that used to scare me the most was near the end where Adam and Barbara get resurrected in their the wedding attire when they perform the seance and Barbara and Adam start coming back to life. They start off looking normal. They fill out their wedding clothes and then they start rapidly aging and falling apart. Yes. I think that probably used to scare me the most.
So funny you bring that up. Like I said, this movie just got so many iconic images. That's one of the scenes I always remember. I used to hate that part as a kid, man. Especially when they start, because they look so decrepit and they literally falling apart. Their jaws is falling off and shit.
Yeah, that's another great.
The scariest shit.
The practical effects. Yeah, holding up. I thought that was one of the better scenes visually.
I ain't really care for that Justice of the Peace too. The little Vern Troy in there. I ain't like when he popped up. He was freaky too to me as a child.
Yeah, it was a lot of creepy ass elements.
Yeah, the dinner scene.
Oh, God, we gotta talk about it.
Yeah. When I think of this movie, I think of that scene.
Yeah, that was my most entertaining scene for me, I feel. Because we used to sing that shit like all the time. Before I even knew who Harry Belafonte was, we used to sing that, man. Right. That scene was crazy. Yeah. What made it super crazy is how excited the family was after being possessed. Right. We got capitalized.
It was like, I haven't moved like this in years. You were possessed by a demon, though. You don't even know, like, that is not exciting at all. To just be in there like, like you just moving around uncontrolled. They were so weird, man. These people were just, as a collective, like not one person in there was not with the shits. All of them was just hype about this whole hunt factor.
Everybody was committed, man. I think that's what made it so much more enjoyable. Right. I don't see a lot of actors commit to a role as bizarre as this.
Exactly. Right. You know exactly. I wonder what the direction was on this, man. Because it's like, fam, this movie is.
When they read the script, I was like, man, this shit tripping.
Like, you wanted to do this? It's a great movie now, but in reading it, I'd be like, what the fuck is this?
Another thing was Danny Elfman's score in this movie was man, he was killing it in the 80s, and I mean, still he be killing it. Yeah. But man, the theme music and just I don't know, he just had some very memorable music in these movies.
I agree.
He's a frequent collaborator with Tim Burton too, so. Anytime they get together, man, they just make magic.
I agree. I'm sure Tim was just like, look, man, just do what you do on all my weird shit.
Right.
Like, well, how weird is it? That's a dead nigga.
I got just the thing for you.
Right.
The score really added to the intensity of some of these scenes.
I was just about to say this. The music in this movie at certain parts was so pivotal, especially that odd.
The one you was
yeah. What scene was that?
It was when they first met Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
When they went into the
bottle. Oh my God.
They dug him up.
Screaming at him, yo, like like, God damn, dude, is Jason coming out this bitch? Jason Voorhees is around the corner. You know, it's interesting watching this movie as an adult because as we both mentioned in this review, this movie used to scare the hell out of me. You watched it more than me and it seemed to get more enjoyment. Me personally, I had the same effect though. Everything you said is true. It's like I couldn't stop watching it. Whenever this movie used to come on regular TV a lot when I was a kid, and whenever it came on, I just find myself just sitting there because it got this way of just pulling you in, even though the imagery is freaky as hell.
This movie had the same effect as Thriller did on me. The Thriller video, I couldn't stop watching that video. It used to scare shit out. It used to come on late at night, and I watched it, man. Especially when they start, when the music stops, and they start bleeding at the mouth, man, coming out the street.
That was and breaking through the house. It was a hole in a man, bro. I still don't know how they did that. They got to break that down.
Man, ain't no way my parents knew I was watching this movie as frequently as I was.
Right.
There's no way.
Yeah, right. Agreed.
We ain't have no case to this movie. It was just, I don't know if they even knew we had it. Because you know how, the VHS is just,
come on,
and then the sticker was ripped off.
No label on that joke. Just a black tape. Could be anything. We had plenty of those.
What an adventurous time.
Right.
Never knew what you was about to put in. Overall, man, watching Beetlejuice again was just as enjoyable now as an adult as it was when I was a kid. And it's just so many things, aside from the nostalgia factor, it's just so many technical elements that I really appreciated about this film. Such a unique film. It's one of Tim Burton's best pieces of work, in my personal opinion.
I agree.
I'm going to have to give it a 8.5 out of 10.
Awesome. Watching this movie again was great for me. Like I said, as a kid, I didn't appreciate it as much just because, the images used to scare me, so I was watching it under a different lens. But now that I'm older and have a better appreciation for just technical aspects of cinema, like you said, I really see this movie in a different light, man. It's better than what I remember because now I can appreciate the small things. I'm going to probably give Tim Burton's Beetlejuice, I'm going to give it a 9. I think it's deserving of a 9, man. I'm going to give it that.
Hey, thank y'all for tuning in to our review, our throwback review of the classic movie Beetlejuice. Hope y'all enjoyed that. Also, if you haven't seen it, I strongly suggest that you watch that movie.
Absolutely.
It's a classic. As always, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. And if you have any suggestions for any movies you'd like to see us review or trailers or shows, don't forget to drop a comment below.
Hopefully you've seen Beetlejuice, and if you have, what do you guys think about it? Have you seen it in recent years? Like, can you compare it to what it was like viewing it as a child to now? What's some of your favorite Tim Burton movies while you're at it, man? We would like to know both of those things. As always, we appreciate y'all, and we out.
Peace.
Peace.